So if you're here, it's probably because you were drawn in by the caption, you were drawn in by the thumbnail. And that's how can you make some extra income with the side business or the side hustle that doesn't require any type of employment or any type of you clocking in or clocking out at an extra job. So this isn't a video about you getting an extra job. If it was, I would just say there's your piece of information. Go ahead and get out and throw some applications out at Indeed. This also is not a video about just pick up some extra Uber shifts or some Uber Eat shifts or even Lyft or things like that. I mean, that's so saturated. I mean, if that's what you do, awesome. But for the most part, these are a couple of different ways, creative ways really that I've come up with, either from my own experience or people that I know personally that have done this to be able to drive some extra income into their bank account to either buy a house, saving up for an investment, to start their actual business, pay for college because they, for whatever reason, they're just working or studying long hours. And so picking up that second job would just be brutal for them. And so this is just a quick little video on 6 ways that you can make anywhere between $100 a day all the way to about $800 to $900 a week on these 6 side hustles. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into the first one. The first one is one that I've dealt with myself in my own career, which was in real estate, and that is a real estate runner or a field carrier. Here's what that is. Let's say a real estate agent or a property manager needs to have a lockbox put on one of their listings. Now, a lockbox is, you've seen it if you've ever seen a house that's for sale or for rent. It's a little box that has the key inside. And so if another real estate agent is showing it, or let's say if you click on a certain app to be able to see the property yourself, you get the code, the key comes out, you pretty much go inside the house, you take the tour, you put the key back in the box, and you head out. Okay, so that's in a nutshell, that's what that is. And so what a real estate runner does is they'll have, let's say, 5 or 6 different lock boxes for 5 or 6 different properties, and every property, the real estate agent or the property manager or even the investor, if they're selling a certain property, they'll pay this real estate runner anywhere between $50 to $75 per house. Now, if you're doing, let's say, 3 to 5 houses in one day, that's a quick $150. Now, here's where it gets interesting. If you have a network of friends that are either real estate agents, real estate investors, and as you know, there's just so much going on in their lives that the last thing that they want to do is have to run out, either put open house signs up, for their open house that they're going to be showcasing, on a Saturday or on a Sunday, or have to go back out to a property that's 20-30 minutes from the office when they're running behind for a lunch meeting with a potential client that's waiting for them. And so that's where a real estate runner will come into play and pick up that extra $50 to $75 per trip, to be able to put those lock boxes up, put those signs in the yard. I believe it's mutual and beneficial for both parties, if you ask me, where you're helping someone out with their time, being able to get more business, and on the back end you're getting some extra cash right there on the spot. So it's a win-win for me. All right, so the next one is Amazon Flex, and this is kind of like Uber, but without having to deal with people. And here's how it works. You log into Amazon Flex once you've registered and you've passed the background check. And by the way, all you need for this is a clean car and a valid driver's license. That's it, no questions to ask. Yes, they run you through the background check, but it's pretty minor. I mean, I haven't seen anyone get rejected unless you're a convicted criminal, murder or something like that, something crazy. But for the most part, the way that it works is you get the notifications, and they're called blocks. And you can pick the blocks that you want, which I think it's pretty cool, especially if you're a full-time student, if you have another job or two, or if you have kids and you're just trying to pick up a 2 or 3 hour block before picking them up from school, or before driving yourself to or from work. And so I've seen some of my friends where right after work, let's say they leave at 5, they'll pick up an Amazon block from, let's say, 6 to 8 or 6 to 9, and they'll make a quick $75 to $100. For the most part, the way that they've structured it, I think it's pretty cool because they have the deliveries all within, I would say, the same 3 to 5 mile radius. So it's not like you're driving, let's say, from one side of town and then having to go out to the other side of town. I really enjoy Amazon Flex because of its flexibility, and it doesn't necessarily mean that you are an Amazon employee. Again, remember guys, these are strategies that allow you to still have your day job and still allow you to have your full-time business without having to have the commitment of another job. And if you haven't already, be sure to hit that subscribe button. It would mean a lot to me. And also give me a thumbs up if you guys are enjoying this content. The next side hustle idea is research and testing. Now, I will say this. I really enjoy this one because it tends to be more fun than the other ideas that I'm sharing with you. But it's not as scalable and it's not as predictable in terms of income than the other 5. If you have a mall that you normally visit, there's usually people out there walking around with clipboards. Now here's what they do. They do testing and they do research. And you can pick up a quick 20, 30 bucks right there on the spot. And here's one that I did personally. I saw them with the clipboard and I asked the employee, hey, what type of research are you guys running? They mentioned we are doing a candy bar tasting. Now, chocolate, candy bar, I'm in, right? And so I said, okay, what do I have to do? So they take me to this little room in the back and they brought out what I think was the placebo of the new and improved taste and then the old stale taste or whatever they were trying to improve. And they mentioned, okay, go ahead and take a bite out of this one, grade it on a scale of 1 to 5. It had about 5 or 6 questions on there on the chewiness, the taste, the texture, yada yada. I washed my mouth out with a little bit of water. They gave me about 2 minutes. Then they brought out, the other candy bar. And so then they pretty much ran me down the same questions and then they put both candy bars side by side. And they asked me if there was any significant improvement, if there actually was any difference between either candy bar. I'm not sure if it was a trick question, but for the most part, I did feel that there was some improvement in that candy bar that I was tasting. And so all in all, it took about 20 minutes. I walked out with 35 bucks cash. My wife did the same thing, 60 bucks between the two of us, and it was a pretty fun experience. And we got to leave with a free candy bar on the way out, which I thought was pretty cool. All right, so number 4 for side hustles that can get you anywhere between 100 bucks a day to 1,000 bucks a week is flipping stuff online. Now, I know what you're probably thinking, and no, this isn't trash talk, kind of like what Gary Vee teaches, although I think it is a powerful concept. This is more of the free version, especially if you're on a budget, because I'm trying to make sure that you keep your risk levels to an absolute minimum. And so if you've noticed, everything that I've shared with you is either little to no money, period, to get started. So there's really no excuses. And the way that I would do this, I'm not going to recommend that you go out and you open up an eBay or an Amazon store. I'll cover that in another video. You're gonna go to either Facebook Marketplace or you're going to go to Craigslist and you are going to click where it says move out sales or estate sales, things of that nature, or even the free section. And here's why you're gonna click on either one of those 3 and check them all. Obviously, the free one speaks for itself. You can see, what they're throwing away or what they're giving out. You take that item, you put it back on the marketplace, or you put it, let's say, on eBay, or you put it back on Craigslist, and you sell it, for a small profit. Or you click on the one that says move out sale or garage sales for this weekend, and you try to pick up over the phone or when you go in person. Once you've seen that item, if there's anything else that they would like to get rid of while you're there. When people are making a move, they want to travel light. And so I can't tell you how often I've dealt with homeowners that are giving away coffee tables, chairs, cup sets, mug sets, you name it, which in turn you can actually turn back around and sell it for a good profit, and you got it for practically nothing. So the 5th side hustle to making some extra cash is an app called Kerb. That's Kerb. And I'll drop that link down below. And in a nutshell, here's how that works. If you have parking space, either you live in the city or you own a home and your homeowner association isn't strict where you can park an extra car or 2 on your driveway, you can literally take a picture of that space, put it on the app, and then charge an overnight fee, charge a daily fee, charge a weekly fee, and you get paid every 2 days off that app directly to your bank account. And so I think it's a pretty cool idea, especially if you're also running an Airbnb. That's just some extra way to get some extra cash. Again, I'll post that link down below so that you guys can check that out and maybe even register as soon as you finish watching this video. And number 6, again, this is one that I have done personally myself. And this, for me, I enjoyed this one probably the most out of the 6 because you're able to do something that you find passion about. And whenever there's passion involved in something that you're working on, then to me that's always just more fulfilling than just the money. But you are also getting paid to do it, which again, I think it's pretty cool. And it is a coaching or teaching type of service. Now, what I've done is I used to play collegiate baseball. Either co-workers that they have kids that are involved in little leagues, or clients that I come across, they'll say, hey, since you play baseball, would you mind giving my kid some batting lessons? He's a 5-6-year-old, so it's not like you have to be as attentive to detail or as elite as you would be, let's say, to train, let's say, a high schooler trying to get drafted, or a college kid trying to get drafted as well, or trying to make, let's say, an All-American team. And so let's say you get, 3 to 5 parents, give them a nice group rate where they'll pay anywhere between 20 to 30 bucks per kid for, let's say, a 45-minute session. You'll walk out with anywhere between 150 to 250 bucks, and you're also enjoying what you're doing. Same thing goes for teaching. If you find that you just really enjoy reading to kids, or you just really enjoy sitting down with kids and just helping them out with their after-school activities, tie that in with babysitting. Again, if you have the patience to deal with kids, you can make anywhere between 20 to 30 bucks an hour. Let's say if mom or dad needs to go on a quick meeting, or they need to go out for a quick grocery run, say, hey, I'll watch your kids for 15, 20 bucks right there. You do that 3-4 times a week, you're making a quick 100 bucks just on that idea alone. And there you have it, guys. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Again, these are 6 side hustles that you can do on your downtime that require little to no money and absolute zero commitment in terms of actually getting employed. So if you're a full-time student, I think that these are absolutely perfect for you. If you're looking to get some extra cash because you have, let's say, a dream business that you're looking to get off the ground, but you still have the commitment of an actual job, then also take a look at one of these, apply it, and just kind of switch them around and see which one works better for you. Guys, I would really appreciate it if you give me a thumbs up for this video. Also, be sure to hit that little bell up top so they can get notified every time I'm dropping new content each and every single week. And as always, be sure to subscribe, show me some love. And also in the comments down below, let me know what your thoughts were on these. If you guys have tried any of these, I would also love to hear more about that. And if you have any questions, also drop it down below. I'll answer them to the best of my ability. As always, guys, this is Irv Official, also known as Irvin. Until next time, everyone.